So one of your options when you're creating your infographic or your poster in Google Draw is to add word art. And word art is exactly that. It's not just a text box where you're typing. It actually creates almost like a picture of the words you want to write. So we're going to go back up to our insert menu. And the reason we keep going to this insert menu, the insert menu is in all sorts of different programs. It's in all of our Google programs that we're going to be using, but it's also in your Microsoft programs like Word and PowerPoint. And then if you have a Mac, you would use Pages and Keynote, and again, that insert's in there. So it's really good to get accustomed to using that insert menu to find things that you want to put on your page. So for us, we're going to choose Word Art, and it gives me a box to type in, and I'm going to type a phrase. This is word art. And if I hit enter, it puts it on the page for me. Wow, that's really big. But I wanted to add another line. So if I double click on it, it lets me edit. So I'm going to click at the end here, and it tells me that if I want to make another line, I have to hold the shift key down and then hit enter or return, and then I can type my second line. Words will be big. Now, if I hit enter or return, it puts them both there. Now, this is too big, so I'm going to use the handles on the corners to resize it. Made it a little bit too squished, so I'm going to raise it up a little. I'm going to fatten it out a little. And because it is gray on the inside, I want to change the fill color, but I also want to change the font. So I can go up here where my fonts are, and I can choose a font that I think is going to be interesting. Let's try Cherry Cream Soda. Now, if you don't have all the fonts that I have, if you click down here where it says More Fonts, you'll be able to choose different fonts because you won't have as many as me to begin with. So I click that. Ooh, way too big. Let's get this thing scooched down a little bit. All right, that's more doable for me, I think. Now I'd like to change the inside. I'd like to change the fill. So I'm going to go back up to my fill bucket, and I'm going to choose a color that I think would really pop and also go with my slide or my poster. And you can see these colors over here are all part of my slide. So I'm going to choose something that's in there because, again, when you're designing posters, infographics, presentations, you want to make sure that your design makes it easy to read and it flows. You don't want too many different things. So I like that color. It matches. It's kind of in between here and here. But I'd also like to change the color of the line around each letter. I can do that in Word Art. So up here is my pencil, and that's for line colors. You can see if I mouse over it. So if I click on that, and again, I'm going to choose something that's in my design already. And you can see it a little bit. See that pink? If I want it a little thicker, I'm going to use this one here, which is called Line Weight, which just shows me the thickness of the line. And I can choose all sorts of different things. I'm going to choose 2 because I don't want that color to be overpowering. I just want it to make my words pop. And then I click away. If I don't like where I've placed it, I'm just going to move it, click and drag. Remember, when you see the crosshairs, you see like the double-headed arrows on both sides that make a cross. That's going to mean you can move something. If you see one arrow, that means you can adjust it. So I'm going to move it. And again, same thing here. I've got that little circle. I could rotate it, but to me that wouldn't be useful in this case. So I am going to use Control Z, which is my best friend because that's undo, and I'm going to put it right back to the way it was. So that's how you add and edit word art. So I hope you choose this option.